Hello, second grade. It's our last day together with this week, but worry not. You've got lots of practice to do, and I will see you again soon. Today, we've been solving problems all week with our length, haven't we? We've compared two objects. We've compared with story problems or word problems. Yesterday, we even got to just solve some addition and subtraction problems, but that unknown was in a different spot every time. Today, we're going to make it even more tricky, but I have no doubt that you guys will be rock stars as we're solving this work. Let's take a peek at our learning target and see where we're going to go today. I can solve two-step word problems involving length. Yesterday, we only had one step. Today, we're going to add in that second step. Now, these are not new to you. You've solved two-step problems before. You just haven't solved two-step problems thinking about the length of objects. So, I have no doubt you'll be amazing at this work. Let's take a look at our first problem, and we'll do what we did yesterday. What do we know? What we're trying to find out, and what equation with an unknown will help us solve that problem. Emma bought 48 inches of ribbon at the store. If she uses 16 inches of ribbon to make a bow and 25 inches to make another bow, how many inches of ribbon will she have left? One more time. Think carefully about what we know. Emma bought 48 inches of ribbon at the store. If she uses 16 inches of ribbon to make a bow and 25 inches to make another bow, how many inches of ribbon will she have left? What do we know, friends? Yeah, she bought 48 inches of ribbon. She used 16 to make one bow, and she used 25 to make another bow. What are we trying to find out? How many inches does she have left? So where are we going to start with this problem? Why 48? That's how much she bought, right? That's how much she started with. What are we going to do next? Why minus 16? Okay, so she used that 16 to make a ribbon. So that's our first part of our problem. Then what? That's step one, right? She used 16 to make a ribbon. Then what happened? So she had this amount, and then she used 25 more inches to make another bow. And we want to know how much does she have left. I put these lines because those are unknowns right now too, aren't they? But what we're trying to find out is where this box is, okay? So we have to solve this before we can solve this and really find out how many inches she has left. This is our symbol for the unknown of that story. Now, how could I write those same two steps? Step one, step two. How can I put those into one equation? What do you think, friends? 48 minus 16 minus 25 equals box. We want to solve this first before we can solve that next part. Show me how you might tackle this problem on your own. Remember, what do we know? What are we trying to find out? And how can I solve this problem using those parts that I know? You may begin. What did you do first? Are you using one number line or two number lines? Okay, so you're going with the two-stepper instead of the one. Okay. All right. And so where did you land when you took 16 away? All right. So then where's your next number line going to start? And what are you going to take away from that number? Okay. You're adding. Why are you adding? What are you putting together? Oh, and so then what are you going to do? Okay, would you mind to share that thinking? So you were adding and then you're subtracting, but I see 2 subtractions, so I want you to share that with our friends. All right, guys, come together in 5, 4, pencils down in 3, 2, 1, and done. And remember, as always, if you're at home and you need to pause me, please go ahead and pause me to give yourself some time to think. Okay, tell me what you did first, my love. Okay, so you did 2 number lines. Tell me why you did 2 number lines. Okay, so you had step 1 and then step 2. All right, what did you do for step 1? Started at 48, and then what did you do? Took away 16. Okay, so how did you take away 16? Minus 10, and what did you land on then? Which place changed when you took 10 away? Your tens place. 4, take away 1 is 3. Okay, then what did you do? And why 6? Because 10 and 6 equals 16. And then what's 6 less than 38? What place changed that time? Your ones, all right? So 8 minus 6 equals 2. So your ones place changed and you landed on 32. All right, so where's that 32 going to go in those up there with your step 1 and step 2? Okay, there we go. 32 inches, right? There was 32 inches after you made that first bow, or after Emma made her first bow. And you're going to start with 32 inches on your second, okay? Same spot. What are you going to do next? Take away 10, take away 10. So when you took away 2 jumps of 10, what'd you land on? 22, and then 12. What place changed again? Your tens place. And then what did you do? Why did you just take away 2? Okay, because that gets you to a 10. All right, then what do you need to do? Why 3 more? Because 2 and 3 makes 5. All right, so 10 take away 3 is 7. Okay. All right, so where's your 25 in this work? 10 and 10 and 5 is 25, and you land on 7, which is your final answer. Okay, how does this person's work help them find that unknown? Okay, starting at 48, taking away that first chunk to find the answer, how many was left after that first bow. Then using that to take away the inches for the second bow, leaves you with 7 inches left, right? I should relabel that. Somebody else said something very different. Would you be willing to share your strategy? What did you do? You also did 2 number lines. How did you do yours? What did you add together first? Oh, you added 16 and what? 25. Ah, so what is 16 and 25? So what did you do first from your 16? Added 20. Okay, and that got you to what? 36. Okay. What place is changing? Tens place. 1 10 plus 2 tens equals 3 tens. Okay, then what did you do? Why just a jump of 4? I got you to 40. Okay, so 6 and 4 gets you to a 10. All right, and then what? One more jump gets you to 41. Okay, so you added 16 and 25 together, so you knew total. You used 16, you used 25. How much ribbon did you use to make bows? 41 inches was used to make the bows. So what did you do next? So this is your step 1. Your step 2 is what? Starting at 48 and doing what? Taking away 41. All right, so taking away 40 equals 8. And then taking away 1 more equals 7. How are these two strategies different, friends? They both got 7. We can see that. Oops, I need to write that answer. 7 inches. Okay. Same answer in that box, right? How are they different? Yeah, this friend took away the first chunk and then took away the second chunk. That person did, though, take away 16 and 25. This person added 16 and 25 to start and then took that number away from the start. Isn't that amazing? Thinking about these two ways of solving this work. Very interesting. Both getting the same problem, but doing those steps a little differently. This step first, then this one, or adding these two and then taking it away from this 48. The unknown was where? At the end. I'm asking that question for a reason because our unknown is in some different spots as we solve these problems, okay? Nicole wants to walk a total of 100 meters. So now we're not doing inches. We're doing what? Meters. Yes. Wants to walk around a total of 100 meters. She walked 33 meters before lunch and 48 meters after lunch. How many more meters does she need to walk to meet her goal? So what do we know about Nicole? Her goal is the total of 100 meters. Walked 33 meters before lunch, 48 meters after lunch. She still has to walk some more to get to that goal of 100 meters. So how could I write this problem? Okay, so 33 plus 48, why would that be helpful? Okay, so that's before lunch, after lunch. So how many did she walk? All right, and then we have what she walked to what she still needs to walk to equal what? 100. Ooh. How can we write that into one equation? So this is option 1. This is a 2-step problem. First step, second step. How can I write that into one equation? Go ahead and write that in your papers. All right, tell me out. 33 plus 48 plus, we don't know, equals 100. So where's that unknown this time? The unknown is in the addends, isn't it? Okay, so it's not the answer. It's not at the end. It's not the total. It's part of our addends, what we're adding together to get to that total of 100. Go ahead and show me how you might solve this problem. How are you going to tackle this one? What did you do first? Okay, and so when you did that, how did that look? All right. And so will you use number lines up to show that? You kind of did a combination of 2 different ones, didn't you? Okay. Let's go ahead and show these pieces. And then if you need us to pause, please feel free to pause before you play it if you need some more time to think. Okay, what did you do first? 48. Okay, and you added 33 to that. So what did that look like? Plus 30. Okay, and then what did you land on? How did you know we're going to land on 78? Okay, so 4 plus 3 equals 7. So 4 tens plus 3 tens equals 7 tens. Didn't add any ones. Okay, and then what did you do? Why did you just add 2? Gosh, you did that 80. 8 and 2 is 10, so 78 plus 2 is going to be 80. 78, 79, 80. And then one more gets you to 81. Where's that 81 going to go in your equations that you're working with? All right. Here's your 33, right? 30, 31, 32, 33. All right, then what did you do? Okay, you had your 81. And what did you do next? You jumped 10. Why 10? Got you to 91. What are you trying to get to? So what are you going to add to get to 100? 9. Why 9? 1 plus 9 equals 10. So 91 plus 9 equals 100. So what's going to go in this box? 19. So how many more meters does she need to walk before she meets her goal? She needs to walk 19 more meters. She's almost there, isn't she? Okay, so we're going to circle that because that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for that answer. We're circling that unknown in our problem, in our work. Okay, somebody else showed me a little different way of solving this problem. I'm really curious about how they could share that. So what did you do first? You didn't use a number line to start. What did you do first? Okay, so you did 30 plus 40 equals 70. 3 plus 8 equals 11. This makes me think of what? Our base 10s. And then what did you do? 70 plus 11 equals 81. Okay. Okay, so 7 tens and 1 tens is 80. And then that 1 is 81. Okay. Then what did you do? 81 plus something equals 100. So what did you do first? Kind of had to do a little hodgepodge, didn't you? So you started with 100 and you took away 10, which was 90. Okay. And then you took away 9 to get to 81. So you were trying to get to that spot. Interesting. So then what was your unknown? So you were using 100 minus something equals 81, and you got 19 as your unknown. So it's very similar, right? Our start and our finish were opposite. We added this, and subtracted that. It actually ended up being the same kind of problem, just flip-flop, didn't it? There's that 19 as the sum. So I like how you used your base 10 blocks to help you start it off. Why did you decide to do a number line to wrap that up? You got a little stumped, okay? Weren't really sure what you needed to add. So it's easier to go to that number line. Using that number line is a tool we can use to help us. It's a strategy that helps us make sense of a problem, and that's okay. We want to be working towards getting to these different strategies and these different ways to solve these problems. And the more ways we can learn, the better we are at solving it and making sense of it. Alrighty, guys, your exit ticket, and this is the last, I'm going to send you on off with this. This is not number 3. This is your exit ticket. You're going to write it on an index card with an equation and show me how you're going to solve it. Remember, our unknown was at the end here. It was in the middle here. We were adding for both of these, subtracting for both of these. Listen carefully for this problem and write the equation to match it. Be thinking about what symbol are you going to use, what is our operation, and what order are they going to go in. You could write it in 2 different steps or 1 step. Denver purchased 98 inches of fabric for his home. He used 45 inches for his kitchen curtains, and then he bought 31 more inches of fabric at the store. How many inches of fabric does he have now? He purchased 98 inches of fabric for his home, and he used 45 of them for his kitchen curtains. And he bought 31 more, and we want to know how many inches of fabric he has now. Remember, for your exit ticket, you're writing an equation, just like we did, and showing me how you're going to solve it. Pause me right here if you want to make sure that you know what you're doing before you send me off. Have a fun time answering these problems and solving them. You have an independent practice to give you some more practice with these problems. I know you're going to be phenomenal. You guys are rock stars. Way to go, second grade.